Hello everybody, and welcome to a Replica Airguns preview video. First off, I want to apologize a little bit for the lack of videos this week. Been a lot of stuff going on around the K-home here. Just had my entire roof for the house completely replaced. We had an old cedar shingle roof, basically over 40-year-old roof, started to leak. It was really getting old, so we had to get it replaced. They had to tear off all those old shingles, made a huge mess around here, put plywood down on the whole roof, and then put the new asphalt shingles on top of that. So it was quite a process. Not only did I have the actual full house done, which is quite a big roof, but we also had the pool house roof done at the same time. So there was just a ton of mess, a ton of noise, a lot of hammering, a lot of stuff going on. People actually literally walking by my office window because they were up on top of the deck roofing. They were everywhere. So it was quite an ordeal, and it was pretty much impossible for me to make any type of video at that time. Just way too much mess and way too much noise and way too much going on. All right, so what are we looking at today? We are looking at the Daisy Powerline 5502. So we'll talk a little bit about these guns shortly. I have kind of done similar reviews for very similar products, so you can watch those videos and get a good idea about those products right away. I will be doing some follow-up reviews for these guns as well. We also have the Desert Storm, and this is the Desert Storm Commemorative Beretta. It's basically an Umarex Model 92A1, just kind of more weathered and given the Desert Storm licensing on it. All right, so let's quickly do the comparison to the products I've been talking about. We're just going to pull the Desert Storm off to the side. We're going to pull my Daisy Powerline 5501 in here, and you can see right there, 5501. Really the only difference is this has got a chrome frame, okay? And it doesn't have all the accessories, right? So we don't have the rail, we don't have this mock silencer or suppressor, whatever it happens to be. Probably more of a compensator, really. And obviously this is chrome. This has got the desert, I guess, tan or whatever. It's like sort of the green, maybe olive green, I guess you'd call it, right? And one thing that I do want to point off right away is you'll see the inner barrel on this one. Get it to focus a little bit for us. Kind of. You can see how much longer. It actually goes all the way down to the end of the compensator, right? Whereas on this guy, it's obviously right in there, okay? So it's a lot shorter. What does that mean? Well, that means this gun's going to probably perform a little bit better in terms of velocity. Probably not so much accuracy, but for sure velocity. So I might do a little bit of a comparison for them, you know, in terms of velocity at least. Accuracy, I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference unless I put a red dot on here. That might help. Now, in terms of specifications and stuff, well, let's take a quick look. You get this awesome packaging with the Powerline 5502. And, you know, you do get some nice little pictures on the back there. You can see what kind of accessories you can put on it, right? And so let's go over some of the specs real quick here. All right, so it is a CO2. It's .177 caliber. It does have sights on it, so you don't need to use the rail if you don't want to. You could actually take the rail right off, but you can see through the rail if you don't want to put anything on it or take it off. You can use it right away, just using the iron sights. It does have the Weaver-style accessory rails, 15-shot BB magazine, manual trigger block. I'm not really sure what they mean by that. Oh, just a safety, how they're explaining it. I'll show you that in a sec. Smooth bore steel BBs, or the barrel is, sorry, smooth bore steel, right? So it's a steel barrel. Maximum velocity, 480 FPS. Now with the 5501, I believe it was around 430. So this guy's going to shoot a little hotter potentially. Hopefully we can get up and around there. That would be pretty good because it is a blowback pistol. All right, overall length 9.55 inches, weight 1.66 pounds. I believe this is around 1.4-ish pounds, so a little bit lighter without all the accessories, even though they are plastic, right? It does still add some weight. All right, let's take a quick look. I'm going to bring this guy right out, because really they're very similar other than the compensator and the rail. Let's take a look. What you're hearing there is this little cap. We'll leave that out there for now. Just don't want it making the gun sound cheap because it was kind of rattling inside. So we do have our magazine release, right? Plastic mag. And by the way, this is just a little cover so that when you're putting BBs in there, they don't pop out. They shouldn't come out anyways, but this is just a little safety thing to keep the BBs from popping out, spraying all over your floor, right? You do have this sort of butt plate that kind of goes to the bottom there. But you do also have your CO2 screw right there, and it is metal. It's nice. See, there's metal parts inside as well. Okay, now we do have an actual locking slide release, right? So it will lock on the last round, blowback operation. You also have this decocker, so you can see this little decocker right here. We can decock it, right? So no action, action, right? Decock it, and then you're not going to be able to shoot. You also have a safety here, right, as well. Okay, so you see how you can see down there. You can see through the open sights, through the actual rear sight and the front sight. It's just kind of buried in there. It's kind of hidden. Again, we do have this compensator with the inner barrel that is extended. We do have this plastic sight rail, right? You can take that off if you want to. And metal trigger, metal frame, metal slide. These are all metal parts, right? Metal trigger, a lot of metal parts inside as well. Over 1.5 pounds again. So here's the other side here. Got some warning instructions and things. Made in Japan, by the way. Okay. Not a bad little gun, all metal. You know, you do have a bit of a little bit of a long trigger. It's sort of like a stage here, a lot of creep, but it's not heavy. The release is pretty good. It is basically a single action only trigger, because you do have to work the blowback operation for the actual internal hammer to be cocked back. And I'm getting a phone call. 1 second here. Alright, we're back. Had to deactivate my phone, deactivate my home computer. My computer was ringing, my phone was ringing. Sometimes it's like everything's against me, trying to stop me from making these videos. The roof, my phone, my computer. Anyways, let's get on with this. Okay, I've pretty much shown you the 5502. You know, it's nice. Both of these guns, by the way, are in the Canada Replica Airgun store, and they're both about the same price, about, I think, 130-ish, 130 something. Both of them are the same price, so if you like the chrome look, don't need the accessories, go for the 5501. If you're potentially going to put some accessories on here, you want the longer internal barrel for more velocity, then go with the 5502, because it definitely will shoot a little hotter. And you might like that olive drab kind of look, olive color there as well. By the way, you do get a manual, of course, inside. It's just your typical manual. I'll be doing a follow-up review for it later. So let's move on with the Berettas. Okay, so we have basically two identical Berettas, other than the finish, really. That's the only difference. The Desert Storm model is going to have the weathered look. It's also going to come in a little pricier because it is, you know, limited edition, I guess, or a commemorative model. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I like the aged weathered look. And you may have seen this in a video I did when I was showing you that Mantis X firearms training system. I did put it on here for that video. Some people were asking about it. But really, these guns are identical. You know, you could take parts off of this one and put them right onto the Beretta, this Pietro Beretta. This is the 92A1, right, from Umarex. Both of these guns are distributed through Umarex, okay? Sometimes focusing is fun. But really, these are the same gun. I mean, other than the finish, right? All the parts are the same, right? They're both blowback. They both have the Picatinny rails, right? Everything's the same on them, okay? So if you kind of want to know a little bit more about or if you want to see it more up close and personal, you can watch my review on the 92A1. All right, so let's just show you the blowback action, since I do have some CO2 in this gun. Pretty cool. Decocker built in, right? So let's just take a quick look around. So you have your Desert Storm there with the tank, slide catch release, takedown lever here, safety, rear sight, white dots, front sight, white dot, right? Beretta markings, all these ugly warning instructions, sorry about that. More commemorative Desert Storm. Pretty much all metal construction, right? You do use an Allen key to take this out, put the CO2 in and stuff. All right. Recessed barrel. Gotta remove the safety. You can see right through the mag well. All right. Magazine, again, is the same as the 92A1 Umarex model. Right, steel BB. Now the box for this guy right here, okay, interestingly, the 92A1 has this ginormous box, and then this other guy has this little box, right? So there's a corner to corner. You can see they're quite different. So there's a lot of basically empty space in the big box. It's all the same stuff comes with them. They both come with manuals and stuff. But just get into some of the specs real quick here before I finish this video. All right, so it is .177 caliber, steel BBs, fixed sights, basically safety's manual, smoothbore barrel, 4.5-inch barrel length, and 18 round magazine capacity, up to 310 FPS, 12 grams CO2. So pretty much identical again to the 92A1, and you can see they're both Umarex distributed products. I'm not exactly sure where they're made. I'm thinking potentially KWC, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking they're KWC guns. That's where they're actually made. So, alright, so that pretty much does it. Other than, you know, really quickly showing you that we do have a manual for basically both guns, and you'll see here that you get the Beretta Model 92A1 manual with the Desert Storm gun, because it really is the same gun. And by the way, both of these pistols are in our Canada Replica Airgun store. If you're looking for a lesser expensive version, then go for the Beretta Model 92A1. It is a little bit less expensive. The Desert Storm version, because it's, I guess, a limited edition or it's a commemorative model, is a bit more money, so keep that in mind. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Also, come on down to ReplicaAirguns.com where we have articles, posts, reviews. I'll have additional photos for these guns there for you to check out as well. And while you're there, check out our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores where we sell air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, blank guns, airsoft guns, knives, and other accessories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.